Hello, Drunkduckers. This is Commissioner Ozone Ocean, and I'll have your badge for that. I'll have your damn badge first thing in the morning. Hand in your gun. We're talking about police shows this week. Police in media, police in all that stuff. And with me is Inspector Tance and Detective Baines.
Hello, hello.
You got a lead.
Or I should have said you have the right to remain silent, but do you? Let's talk.
Anything you do say will be written down and, I don't know, held against you in a court. Oh, I don't know. We've had that Miranda rights read to us so many times by TV cops. We don't even remember it. Yeah, so theme song. So, we're talking about police shows, but first we gotta get to the featured comic. Featured comic this week was a comic I featured called Lavender. So I'll tell you about Lavender now. Hello, I'm Ozone Ocean, and my feature for the week was Lavender. This is a very contemplative, sentimental story of a simple flower seller girl named Lavender. She sells baskets of flowers from her little cart for a living. She has a lot of time to think about her mum, who passed away, and about her dad, who works hard. Also about her life. Lavender is about a young woman coming to terms with her own mortality. The art is all black and white, and the comic is in a vertical scrolling format. The story is a gentle drama with a lot of pathos. It's a very, very contemplative story. It's very much on our Quackcast theme from last week, which was mortality. And this comic is very much about that. It's a very interesting comic. It's finished, so you can read from the start to the end of it. And it's so you can read a whole little complete comic and enjoy this contemplation on life and mortality and everything like that. I hope you like it. It's by Dan G, and it's rated T for teen. That was Lavender. And now we're going to talk about the featured music by Gumwallers. Another best of from Gumwallers this week. It's Grey Sky Blue Moon. I'm tempted to write a bad early 80s rap for this, but I won't. Torture people that way. This tune is remarkably 1980s in style. Rap dance style music exactly like you get from a big budget movie from 1984 or 85. Beverly Hills Cop or Police Academy. It's perfect. It's a great match for the crazy late night hijinks that the girls of Grey Sky Blue Moon get up. Originally from Quackcast, 642, 4th of January 2020, start of COVID. Take it away, Gumwallers, with Grey Sky Blue Moon. That was our featured music by Gumwallers. So, okay. Alright. Police shows are pretty cool. Oh, police in media. It's one of those things that is a genre. It's like a fixture. You can have entertainment media about police things because it's just one of those fixtures like hospital shows, police things, and
Law.
Lawyers.
Lawyers or prosecutors or both.
Right.
But I think even those like those came from police shows originally.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And the best version of those, of course, with the lore aspect, well, not necessarily the best version, but a really significant version, is the Law and Order franchise, which has been going on since bloody forever. But in that show, which is fantastic, it has like a initially it had a dual focus. So we've got like a crime that happens, we have the detective sorting it out, and then we move on to what the prosecutors do to prosecute that. And they portray it in like this.
Yeah, even the trial.
Yeah, the trial. And look, in reality, those things don't happen in such easy concert. What happens is the trials often like are delayed, and they wait, and the trials like could be a year after the whole investigation. So that's. But in this particular thing, the style was that the trial would happen straight after the investigation happened. So sorry, Tance, you were saying something.
No, exactly that. And often you have. What I liked about Law and Order is that usually you have the prosecutor, or the attorney general, or one of these people from the attorney general's office, at least, working with the detectives and telling them like, no, I will not be able to prosecute this, or you have to find me XYZ in order for me to be able to prosecute, that sort of thing. I really like that as an element.
Exactly. It was such a cool show. It like pioneered that sound. Dum dum.
Yeah.
And I loved all the actors. They had that guy who was Richard Belzer, the comedian. He was in it. And Ice-T.
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 I really liked him there, though. I mean, he really fit.
And there was a few others. I mean, Ice-T came a bit later, and there was some other people before him. But yeah, I freaking loved that show. And then they had the spin-off, like the Special Victims Unit with that Haggerty lady. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I think that's the one that has Ice-T in it.
I think he was initially in the first one, but he moved into that one. And Belzer as well, he was in all of those things. And there's the other one, which was the Special Investigation or something. I can't remember. But,
yeah.
Both really, really entertaining things. I initially, in the end, I lost interest in the Special Victims Unit because I found the crimes a bit too triggering, I suppose, is the popular word. It was just a bit too much for me. I didn't like that aspect. I preferred the more kind of ordinary crimes to like that kind of sexual violence and all that kind of stuff, but whatever. So that wasn't for me. But I loved the Marissa Haggerty. That was the Marissa or Melissa?
She's so iconic. Yeah,
the
I don't
daughter
remember her name.
of Jane Mansfield, the famous blonde bombshell. So the one who died in a car crash. But yeah, the amazing large-boobed Jane Mansfield. But yeah, amazing show. So that's a really good example of something that tackles interesting aspects, because we've got like we say, the trial as well as the actual investigation, which is really amazing. Because often what you see in police dramas is you only see the investigation part, and that's only half the story. So what are they doing all the investigation for? You're doing an investigation to lead to the trial. Sometimes they have the trial kind of hinted at, but it's not really shown all the way through. And in this one, it's like completely working together to make it happen. So that was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. I generally like police shows that do have some kind of grounding in reality. There was one that I mentioned when we were not recording, that I started because I liked the main character, and then I slowly and then very quickly hated, and that was Blue Bloods
Oh yeah.
with uh, Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Magnum
I think.
PI.
But yeah. You know, I signed up for the mustache. But it was an interesting premise, you know, a family of cops with, you know, one daughter branching off to be the prosecutor. So you have everyone in the family, and everything ends with a Sunday dinner where everyone, you know, gathers around the table and they talk from about the case, among other things, from their different perspectives. Fascinating stuff. I really liked it. And then I remember at some point that I realized that this was some of the most obnoxious and thick layered, lathered on propaganda, like state propaganda, uh, eh, especially after like the second season, or I don't remember, like after the first season where they lure you in, then they start pelting you with, you know, everything the cap does is good, everything, you know, non-caps do is suspect, and you know, the caps are entitled to firing blindly into crowds, you know, and stuff like that. So they were using this show to justify away a lot of high-profile police brutality and police abuse cases.
Makes it hard to watch.
Yeah, it makes it unwatchable, honestly, because their arguments are crap. Sorry to say that. Like they present them as like this is the mega argument, the one that will convince you, and it's just like an ad hominem, or you know, an ad populum, and that's all it is. And there is absolutely no reason for them to be abusing their power. But yeah, and that I really couldn't watch. So that was a waste of Tom Selleck.
Oh, it's a shame. It's a real shame.
Yeah. Mm,
I
yeah.
don't like that.
No. And I would be interested even, you know, of watching like one in the family is a detective that doesn't care about, you know, abusing his power, uh, and then the rest of the family has various issues with that, and they sort it out. Yeah, I would be interested in watching this, but it's like no, all the family realizes like the light is in letting the cat do whatever the cat wants. Uh,
Right.
yeah. No.
No, so much nuance to that. There could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the show
What,
wanted to.
what about you, Baines? You were talking about Dexter.
Yeah, I love Dexter. It's one of my favorite shows in its heyday, at least. And
Mhm.
and the new one was amazing too. But the new one is not a cop show. He's no longer
Ah.
part of the police or anything like that. It was still
Oh
great.
yeah.
But the classic show, like the first four seasons and beyond, but the first four seasons are where it's really great. It's Dexter, the serial killer show. Everybody probably knows what this is. And he's a serial killer with a code, and he lives a double life. He's a lab worker who works with the police. And so it's largely about Dexter. He's the main character and his double life, and he usually goes up against some nemesis, other killer or something in each season. But it's really an ensemble show, and the ensemble of cops, they're such great characters, and that's what I like in fiction. You know, I like ensembles, I like characters, and the cop environment. I can see why they do it so much. You know, it's you can have like an office show, like an office comedy, and you have the banter and these sort of interesting characters. Plus, there's like criminals and guns and mysteries,
Yeah.
like crimes to solve and all that stuff. It's all great. And if Dexter is kind of superheroic in what he's able to do, the cops really help humanize the whole thing. Now that I'm rewatching it, I see that like they're all flawed. They're all you kind of root for them, at least the main characters. Some of them are playing political games. They're sort of concerned about their promotion. They're concerned about their personal lives, and they're all very believable, fleshed out characters. Um, and then you get the thrill. So when one of these characters you care about, like when Dexter's sister Deb, who's a detective, makes a breakthrough on a case or suddenly realizes something, and she's kind of struggling to make her way in the department and stuff. You're really thrilled for her, And, it's great. Yeah, for a show that's not really just a cop show, it's that within the Dexter, like the thriller show that it is.
It's layered.
And might be my favorite because of that. You don't overdose on the cop stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's great. I also would like to mention like a lot of the K-drama cop shows that I have seen, because they have a whole genre of police drama. That's how they call it, like police dramas. And those are actually, because K-dramas, and not only that, and Chinese ones as well, they are very, very much known for, the incredible romance that they build between main characters. But in cop shows, there is no romance. There can be a lot of camaraderie, between different characters, regardless of their gender, but they do not focus on, lovey-dovey stuff. It's just them on the job and perhaps, handling their own demons, blah blah, that sort of thing. But the one thing that I really like about the show is that they go out of their way to show the context for each crime that is committed. It's not just, they have like these monster criminals, especially like serial killers and stuff like that. Now I'm talking about a bunch of shows, but in general, like the patterns. But they also have criminals that become criminals due to circumstance. And they are not like criminal minds, quote unquote. They are people that were pushed to do certain things out of desperation or out of being in an impossible situation or deciding to do this for XYZ reasons. And through that, they run some incredible social commentary. Like, look, our society has completely let down these people that are on the verge of becoming homeless, and this is what has happened. And let's see the entire context of this situation and why this man tried to rob like this 7-Eleven style deli. And I really appreciate that because they do not paint everything in black and white. Like, certainly there are like the super weird, twisted guys that should be taken out of society in general. But there are a lot, like usually that's the main highlight villain towards the end of the series, because these are usually short series, like from 16 to 40 episodes max. So when it goes towards the end, you have like the big boss. But up to then, you get all this carousel of socially influenced criminals and stuff. Yeah,
love it.
So and how do the cops handle that, or how does the prosecutor that gets handed the case handle that? That sort of thing. So I really like
a good lawyer show can do the same thing, right? Like it's a lens.
Exactly.
Things about society.
Exactly. One of the best ones that I watched very recently, and if you are interested in watching a K-drama, that's Korean, is called Beyond the Bar, and it it follows the career of this lawyer lady that wants to intern in this huge firm. So, and there are two overarching um, storylines where, you know, the firm has its inner politics and she has to field these politics in order to stay aboard. And also she has to gain her own experience to handle cases, and she has this mentor type that guides her, and he's, you know, the type that never smiles and is super, super strict and you know, totally not social about anything, you know, that sort of thing. And they do this commentary about stuff that happens in Korea right now. And I really like that. I highly recommend it. Just, I think, 16 episodes, not very much.
Oh,
So,
okay, Beyond the Bar.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a cat show, but it is. There are cups in there. So,
Right.
I was going to talk about some of the cliches that are often prevalent in a lot of these things. And we've talked about, I don't know whether I mentioned in Quackcast, we did on a video cast, the grumpy authoritarian character, you know, chief, commissioner, captain, either one of those things, always like, I'll have your badge and your gun, you know, that kind of thing, always shouting and screaming, that trope. Another trope that I noticed the other day by watching one of these police shows was the idea of it's their entire life. In that these police detectives are investigating a case currently, and there's always just one case they're investigating. The whole team just investigates a single case. I think, how could that work? Aren't there like a million things happening, and everyone's investigating the same case together? And it's like they don't go home. That's their whole life is investigating this case, and they're at their desks, you know, at 9 o'clock at night, still going, and people are going, "Oh, you should get home and have some rest." "Oh no, I can't do that. I have to keep working." And you think, is this actually a job for these people? They don't, even if they really did want to uncover this thing, they still have actual lives outside of this stuff, like normal human beings. They would not be there all night doing this kind of stuff, and yet they do, like, and in like almost every cop show I've ever seen, it's always like like investigator show, I should say, because there's usually these special teams. They're at home or whatever, and they get a call, and they're out straight away, like 9 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock in the morning, they're out, you know, fully dressed. They're on the job. That's stupid. Don't you have
that never happens.
Don't you have people who work different hours? You can't.
Yeah.
You're not doctors.
And even then, you are on call or not. They don't call everyone at any moment.
Yeah, which these people absolutely are on call 24 hours a day. And they're like these so other tropes. Relationships break up, usually with a chief detective, always like has a going through a divorce. He's usually always divorced.
Always.
It's usually a he.
Or has an ex. Or has an ex and a troubled teenager as a kid.
Always a troubled kid, always a drinking problem. That's a trope that always is there.
Either that, one of them has that, another has this amazing wife that is totally supportive and, you know, is the type that coddles the detective, brings them cookies at work and knows all the precinct and everybody loves her and stuff. And she usually gets, shanked in some way. At some point.
Kidnapped or whatever. And they did that in White Collar. White Collar was a good show. So that was based on, like FBI. And so they were initially, you know, they got this guy in who used to be like a con artist. And as part of his, part of his parole or whatever, part of his condition.
That rings a bell.
Yeah. part of his condition of parole was that he would have to join them as a special, I don't know, special
Advisor.
agent or whatever, advisor. Yeah. So it follows the old trope of having someone who's an outsider and an expert come in and basically solve all the crimes and stuff like that because he's such an expert. And initially it was pretty good because they were covering like frauds and weird things like that. And he was like explaining how cons work. And that was pretty cool because you didn't have that in a lot of police shows. You didn't have like people outlining frauds and having, the show is called White Collar, so it's actually covering white collar crime, which was interesting. Instead of covering homicide or vice or these typical things, it was white collar, which is so divorced from that stuff. But then it devolved into them basically covering any kind of crime, and this guy being not just an expert at, frauds and cons, but he's an expert at every fracking
everything.
thing.
Yeah.
So he's like an expert forger and an expert at art forgery and keys like safes and every possible thing.
Oh yeah.
Just...
And they missed the chance to have him bring in his buddies. Like, I know someone that can help us with this. But he hates cops, and we have to basically con him into helping us. Why not?
They did that sometimes, but usually he was a super expert. So.
Yeah. That's the thing with a super expert that is like a savant in everything.
Yeah, and that's a trope as well. So that comes from Sherlock Holmes initially. He was like an expert, like super brain man, and that has become a huge trope after that. It's not a cliche. It's a trope. It's a genre. Because people deliberately do it. They don't accidentally do it. They don't fall into doing it. They know what they're doing, and they create those characters because people love them. But
for sure.
They can be a bit too good at what they're doing.
Yeah. Another trope is the cop whose parents are criminals, and the cop has broken with their parents or the sister. Someone like the main nuclear family has criminals or is a criminal family, and they have broken with
Dexter.
that.
Sort of. Yeah. Breaking Bad sort of does that. But from the other's perspective, so you're following the criminals, but the brother-in-law is a policeman. So, Hunter, great example from the 1980s, where Hunter comes from a family of mobsters, and he's broken with them to become a policeman. And they're solidly like a major crime family. So there's a certain arrangement with the mobsters because he used to be part of them. So, that's the thing.
And then you have investigators that are characters, like they are the show. They are very unique in different ways, like Colombo, for example, that presents himself as being this stupid guy that asks stupid questions until then in the end he drops the mask and he has snagged the arrogant criminal.
That was interesting because he portrayed himself as, like you say, a complete dumbass, like a bumbling detective. And he lulls them into a false sense of security. But in the format of that show, you see exactly how the crime was committed. It's no mystery that's gradually unfolded.
Yeah.
It's completely shown. And it's fascinating. So the whole show is about him lulling them into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
We know how.
Like how he's going. Yeah, but how is he going to uncover it? Like the crime is basically the perfect crime, and then how is he going to make it not perfect? So that or like you mentioned, Monk is another one that he has severe mental illness. He has OCD. He has a variety of things that he has to handle, but also is a genius in uncovering cases because he pays this incredible attention to detail, exactly because he is so obsessive compulsive, which is stretching what that mental illness is, but poetic license. It's one of the better done ones.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean that's like it's an evolution from the Sherlock Holmes trope into not just making the Sherlock Holmes character very intelligent and like very intuitive, but making their powers based on, like you say, a mental illness or not even, we don't call it mental illness anymore. It's like differently abled.
yeah,
Or,
well, yeah,
on the spectrum or whatever it is. It's
It depends because monks is a mental illness. It is in the DSM. It is obsessive compulsive disorder. Unless you would say that he has, like he's a bit autistic as well. I don't know.
non-neurotypical. That's how we would say.
Yeah, for sure. But they do have certain shows where, I mean, autism aside, where they take this one mental illness that is right in the DSM. So
neurodivergent.
the book.
There we are. Oh my god.
That is like the DSM is the book of mental illnesses that are recognized and has all the possible diagnoses you could get at this time. And they take one of these and they make it into an angle that allows the detective to be more perceptive and more able to solve the problems. So
well, High Potential is one that's a current series. It's just being made now. They're into the second season now, and that's very much that. The Kate Olsen, I think, is the main actor there. I think that's her name. She's the wife of that. She basically came from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And the wife of one of the main actors in that. And fantastic character in that. I love her. I love her in all her series that she's in. But so she's the star of this one, and she in the first episode, like they're trying to solve a crime. She's the cleaning lady there because she has a hard time.
I know which one you're talking about. That sounds really good. I haven't seen it yet, but I want to.
So she has a hard time because she's so intelligent. She doesn't really fit in with any jobs. So she messes up because you've got this situation called High Potential, and I don't even know what that is. Like, she's so super intelligent, and
hypertension. I have that too.
Exactly. So they get her on as a consultant, which is what they always do with these people these days. She's a consultant. And they're all consultants. They're not officially members of the police force. They're consultants. That's the new trend. We've got the Mentalist, Monk, White Collar.
Yeah.
They'll do it that way. So she's and her specific condition is high potential, which as I say, no idea what that is. And she makes all these genius leaps, intuitive leaps, and she can make whatever she reads, she remembers.
That's like photographic memory. Yeah.
Yeah, but she has a deep understanding of things. notices stuff that no one else does, like basically what you're doing that time. Yeah, that's.
I was going to mention there. I don't remember what the show was called because I never saw it. I just saw the actress promoting it some years ago, and it was about a cop. I think a cop, or maybe she was a consultant. I don't know, with a photographic memory, and that was the angle.
Yeah.
So maybe High Potential is a new take or a better take on that. I don't know if that show lasted, whatever it was.
Probably not a better take, it's just another take on it.
Right.
I think its biggest success is that it's got Kate Olsen in it. If that's her name.
That's a selling point.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not necessarily better than anything else, she's really great, so that powers it along. And the other actors kind of are just pretty good looking. Oh, except the one who plays her boss, like the captain, police captain, is played by the lady from Scrubs, who was the main nurse in that. Well, I can't remember her name, but she's brilliant in Scrubs as the main kind of boss nurse. She's freaking awesome. So yeah, but I like the High Potential. Her main partner in that, like the police partner, is this guy who's basically a really, really good looking guy and doesn't really have very many, other things going for him than that. So it's I find it interesting in that, back in the old days it was like if you had if the police guy had it was usually a guy back in the old days, and if you had a female kind of partner, she'd be really good looking, like TJ Hooker, basically.
Yeah.
Captain Kirk, what's his name in that? They had who was the woman in that?
It was Heather Locklear.
Heather Locklear, yeah. I mean, gorgeous.
Yeah, she was an icon back then. I've never even seen the show, and I know her.
There you go. So this guy basically is Heather Locklear. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Ben. What's that?
I said I know her from The Fall Guy.
Oh, I love The Fall Guy.
Show previous, love The Fall Guy, which was not a cop show.
No, not at all. But yeah. Awesome.
This show about the cop with a photographic memory, I just looked it up, was called Unforgettable. The actress was Poppy Montgomery, Australian.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Poppy Montgomery.
No, I've never seen it, but in case anyone wants to look it up.
Mouthful of a name?
Yeah.
Giant. And now, I wanted to also bring up sci-fi cop shows.
Yeah.
So I brought up the example in the Quackcast of Dominion Tank Police, which is freaking awesome. So you got a police unit that drives around in tanks. So that sort of takes stuff to the next level. It's an awesome movie, awesome manga comic, awesome TV series. Just everything about it is so cool. It's hyper. It's beyond the next level. It's people in tanks. So you got that. Masamune Shirow also famously did Ghost in the Shell, and Ghost in the Shell is basically a cyberpunk cybercrimes unit. So this is Section 9, which are kind of military, kind of police. They're a special police unit, and they investigate cybercrime that's it's almost spy level, like MI6, MI5 kind of level crime. Stuff that's almost state level, like stuff that has a potential to harm national security. So that's fascinating. So the Ghost in the Shell stuff is really cool. Although the much later version of Ghost in the Shell is shit. But if you go back to the original movie, the manga, and the standalone complex TV series that was done, those are freaking awesome. So just stick with those. Don't go to the later stuff.
Okay.
flush it down the toilet. Always this stuff devolves. So that's a fantastic like cyberpunk sci-fi. Now, Deep Space Nine has a fantastic police kind of aspect with Odo, the changeling security officer.
Yeah.
So you've seen many episodes of that quite recently, I think. Or
still
you've watched that
rewatching.
many times. Yeah.
Slowly rewatching and savoring it. I love Odo. I love that he's a detective, if you will, in charge of station security, but they do plenty of stuff with him solving crimes, and they make a lot of him as a detective. And it's great. Yeah, I love that stuff. Love that dynamic. Yeah.
He uses his shape-shifting ability to help him, doesn't he?
Sometimes. I love it when he uses his detective's mind, which they do that plenty as well.
Yeah, he interrogates people.
Yeah. Notices things, on that detective level.
Yeah, he has a terrible relationship with Quark, who is like the So Quark is, but came from a trope where often in a police show you need the scummy kind of like semi-legal guy who's working out of a bar or a strip club or something like that, and who is a fence and who is a grass, who can tell on other people for enough money. Or you can lean on them, threaten them, and then they will they're kind of go between. So they're semi-legitimate, and they also walk on the dark side as well. And Quark is one of those characters,
right?
And he has an interesting relationship with Odo. Like it's almost like a buddy kind of thing, but it's not. They're antagonists, but they also work together in various things. You like that dynamic?
Yeah, definitely like an odd couple kind of thing. And Odo sort of strong arms Quark into helping him at certain times with information or whatever.
But they're a lot interestingly for a police dynamic. They're a lot closer than that character normally is. The dark side character normally is the light side character. Normally they're just like part of the ensemble. Like not even part of the ensemble. They're just like an extra person. But in this case, he's like key to the whole thing. Like you need him as part of the criminal investigation normally.
Right. Yeah.
Did you say that?
Oh yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. It seems so. It usually just shows up here and there. It's a scene here, a scene there. But yeah, it's great. It's a really nice dynamic. And yeah, he's like Odo's informant, kind of, that you'd see on Cop Show.
Yeah, he's the informant and also his helper for a lot of the things.
Yeah, his helper. And his target sometimes, Quark finds himself arrested here and there by Odo.
Yeah, and initially Odo really hates him, but I think always really hates him, but sometimes he becomes a bit better. And then they have the other aspect on Deep Space Nine, which is the more spy aspect with what's his name, Garrick, I think.
Yeah.
Who is a Cardassian ex spy, or still a spy. We never really kind of fix on that. But he kind of also assists with investigations that are a bit more political, I think.
Yeah, definitely once in a while they'll use him to sort of go between the lines and leak things that they want leaked or get information that they need that they can't get through legitimate means. He's a mysterious sort of spy type character. Really a darker character. Yeah.
Very dark. And speaking of sci-fi, we've got Babylon 5, which was another, like, the same time as Deep Space Nine, another thing about a space station. And on that you had this guy called Garibaldi, who was the police kind of security kind of guy, who had a whole bunch of security agents who they would deal with the issues and stuff that came up with the aggressive aliens and things, and crimes that happened on this space station. It was a pretty, like, having that aspect to a show about a space station was really cool because
that's neat.
Yeah, you diversify what you can do with it. It's not just about sci-fi stuff. It's not just about, aliens doing this and that. It's about managing stuff and solving the weird, interesting, weird crimes that can happen in a sci-fi world. So yeah, taking it out of the realms of reality. So I'll just bring up one of my favorite police shows ever is Miami Vice. And I love it because it's just cool, and it's very late 80s, well, mid to late 80s, and it's just gorgeous. And it's about vice. So it's not about your typical, like, murder investigations or whatever. It's about vice specifically. So they investigate, like, obviously, mainly drug issues, which are... The show is based in Miami. So you've got... stuff that's coming over the border, mainly cocaine and like various different drugs and stuff like that, but a lot of cocaine shipments. But they also cover different aspects of vice, like illegal weapons, illegal cigarettes, like prostitution, all that kind of stuff. But it was just done in a very cool way because people had amazing outfits. They drove Ferraris and all this kind of stuff. So that's one of my favorites. I love Miami Vice.
As cops that investigate cocaine and are totally not corrupted, they are known to do drive Ferraris.
Yeah, very very well acted show because of certain actors and the creator Michael Mann. I think he was a very clever director. So it had a lot of heavyweights. Yeah, but as Tant says, it's not very realistic in that, the corruption level is quite low, whereas it's much higher. Another interesting aspect to it though was that people don't realize is because of when it was created, it's all these kind of characters are basically Vietnam War veterans, which gives another aspect to it. Like these people have PSD. They have weird relationships. They know people who can do certain things because they were involved in the war. And that's quite an interesting dynamic. That's very much, it reminds me of like cop shows done after the Second World War and cop shows also done after the First World War. Like the whole Sam Spade kind of, those noir detective shows where everybody there is a veteran as well.
Right.
So yeah, this has those kind of aspects, and some cop shows these days try and do that with like the Second Iraq War and the Afghanistan War as well. So it does often crop up, but mainly American things. Yeah. So yeah, that's me ranting on my favorites.
Yeah, that's great. That's interesting.
It is great. It's Miami Vice, the best ever.
Dexter also takes place in Miami. You remind me.
What's that?
I had no idea. Dexter also takes place in Miami.
Oh my god, maybe they know each other.
They could have done a crossover. I didn't.
Yes. Oh my god, Silk Stockings was another one from the late 80s.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's such a blast from the past. Silk Stockings.
That was weird because that covered like weird, sexy crimes that involved sexy stuff. Often just murder.
Yeah.
With a sexy aspect.
Yeah. Sexy murder.
Florida somewhere. But yeah, that was a bit cheap.
Yeah. I remember it like airing on Greek TV like after 11.
Yes.
That is supposed to be, that was like when all the kids are in bed, which naturally all the kids waited to see the cop show after 11.
Sexy silk stockings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was its main selling point. It was sexy, and sometimes you'd see like a side shot of a bum or a boob or something like that. Chests and
It
muscly
was
men and
edgy, very edgy stuff.
very edgy. The actors were pretty decent. And you had some really good people in it, but it was always a bit, mainly because of that sex focus. It was always a little bit cheap, and it was never really reached the heights of any really good show. But it was fun.
Yeah. What was the other one? Moonlight.
Oh my god, Moonlight!
Oh yeah,
Was that
Yeah,
police detective or were they just detectives?
they're private detectives, but similar thing.
private
They had an office.
detectives. Yeah, but
Moonlight.
I do think. Yeah, it does qualify though because basically they were investigators
Yeah,
in that line.
Starring Sybil Shepherd and Bruce
Mm.
Willis, two
yeah,
major film actors. Or did they become major film actors after that? I'm not sure. No, she was already a major film actor because she'd been in The Last Picture Show and various things.
Mm.
So yeah, she was a heavyweight, and Bruce Willis was only just starting.
he was
He
new.
was,
Yeah.
as we know, he's become he became amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty interesting.
I do love the cop show as like a workplace, either sitcom or like dramedy, like a drama comedy
Yes.
in an office. There are a lot of those too. Like I mean, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I haven't seen the whole series, but they did it.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, like to the limit.
Love that show. Love it.
There was a show called The Job, Dennis Leary, which I think of it as kind of the spiritual father of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in a way. It was like a sitcom
really?
about a police precinct, and yeah, there are all these sort of different characters, all these cops, different personalities, and all their shenanigans. Remember it? It only lasted one season.
I vaguely remember it. He's playing like an Irish kind of cop in Boston or something, maybe.
Oh, he's just playing himself like always. But
not
remember
Irish,
if it
but
was New
Irish
York.
background.
It was probably New York or something. But it was good. I wouldn't say great. I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine sort of raised the bar.
Yeah,
Before
with Andy
that,
Samberg.
I loved a short-lived show called, I think it was short-lived, like Hooperman. That's probably getting obscure.
I don't know that one.
That was John Ritter's show after Three's Company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he was a cop. It was an ensemble cop show, and it was kind of like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, not as silly and wacky. It had some comedy, but it had lots of drama. It was maybe more of a light drama. But I love John Ritter so much, and I really enjoyed that show.
Oh yeah, he was an excellent funny guy. Another one in that vein is Castle.
Okay, haven't seen it.
Well, it stars.
Yeah, I didn't like it very much. It was very much will they, won't they flirt thing. Where yeah.
Stars. Oh my God, who is the guy? I don't know.
Nathan Fillion, isn't it?
Nathan Fillion, yeah, the Firefly guy, and he's now in a series called The Rookie.
Yeah, another cop show.
I've never seen.
Yeah, I've never seen that either, but I know it's a cop show, and he's like a middle-aged rookie police officer. So it's a fun idea.
Probably worth watching. Yeah, Castle. Yeah, I like Castle. It had the whole romance will they, won't they kind of stuff, which was really good when it was the will they, won't they, but when they got together, it turned shit. So. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I think, stuck with the couple. They did the will they, won't they, and then they got together. But it stayed interesting, didn't it?
Yeah.
What a great, that's a feather in their cap, man. That they pulled that off.
I loved everything about that show. It was so good. And it had different, well, they weren't they, with some other characters as well.
I could watch the whole thing again. I remember it only vaguely, but great characters.
Yeah, every one of them awesome. Just definitely one of my faves, and that series went all over the place. So yes, love it. Oh my goodness me, have we burnt out on the subject?
We can just keep
I'm just trying.
listening.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, I was trying to think of whether we have any like web comics that do this sort of thing.
We're
But
looking for webcomics.
yeah, I can't think of any right now. That was why I was so silent.
Yeah. There was a
So,
comic called Top 10, not a web comic, but a comic called Top 10, I think, about superhero cops. So it was a division
Mm,
of the cops. They were super powered, but they did it not like the X-Men. They did it like they went into a police precinct, and it was about sort of trying to adjust to the job and getting used to the job and going on patrol. And it was all this regular kind of cop stuff with the comic booky kind of superpowers added. It was pretty good.
mm,
Yeah.
well, that sounds good. That just put me in the mind of a couple of sci-fi ones again. Cartoon one, Galaxy Rangers. Awesome
All
show
right.
about
Yeah.
sheriffs in space. Oh my
mm-hmm,
god, so good. I love it. I love it.
mm.
And also Cops. This great series. It was just called Cops, and it was set in the future, and it was really really cool. So yeah, I recommend that. Oh, RoboCop.
No,
Yeah, a lot of movies too. Yeah.
yeah. Well, if we go down that path, I would also say like in the manga category, one of the most interesting ones, unorthodox, but perhaps investigations is in Monster by Naoki Urasawa, um, where you have this doctor, because it starts like a medical drama, and you have this doctor that saves a kid that he realizes later is a killer,
Oh dear.
and like a serial killer. And so he feels responsible for all the deaths that this serial killer kid is inflicting, as has he has also grown up, and so he embarks on this crusade to find him and kill him himself, like that. This is my duty because I gave him life and I have to take it away. And the weird thing is that this serial killer kid is very protective of this doctor. Like he commits like two or three different murders
Oh
just to
wow.
protect this doctor's job.
Mhm.
um, and beyond that is that you have, of course, the cop that pursues the doctor because he's around every single murder that takes place in this serial killing spree. He suspects that the doctor is the killer,
Yeah.
so he also chases him around, and it uncovers this huge conspiracy of of stuff that is going on, and within this conspiracy lies the reasoning of why this kid, now young man, is committing these murders. And it's one of the most compelling, like noir, dark noir mysteries that also involves, the cop, the
Blackjack.
police in general. What, like?
Was that called Blackjack?
No, no, that was Monster.
Oh, Monster. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Monster.
Yeah, it is a very good. It was adapted very well in anime as well. So,
Oh, okay.
for sure.
Another anime more recently, Psychopaths, where it's the whole idea is like psychopaths have some kind of superpower to manage people, so but they have to be controlled, and they can't be allowed to walk around free. So anybody with the potential to be a psychopath becomes, stuck as a police officer, so they can handle people. The premise is so dumb that I couldn't watch it anymore.
Wild, yeah.
I watched the first season and I couldn't watch it again because the premise is just based on a total misunderstanding of what being a psychopath means.
Yeah.
It's so dumb, but it was initially interesting, yeah. But it's very flawed. Well, okay. Oh, damn it. That's our Quackcast for the week.
Hopefully people can comment if they have or know of webcomics. There are so many movies and shows.
Yeah.
There must be webcomics that are...
Yeah, for sure.
There will be. All right, well, thanks very much for listening to Quackcast number 759.
The Copcast.
Oh my god, the Copcast. Thanks, Tom. Goodbye.
Bye.
We're reinstating you.
Here's your badge and your gun. Go.
Here's the badge and gun.
Yeah.